Dad, what do you think Mac Jones does better than Brock Purdy?
I love that question. I'm going to say some stuff, but I want the bottom line to be I think Brock Purdy is a very good quarterback.
Yeah,
Okay?
me too.
Uh, I think he gets the ball out faster. I think he reads the defense faster, which is interesting because that used to be what made Brock Purdy special, reading the defense fast and getting the ball out fast. But Iggy, he doesn't do that as much anymore.
No,
I think his delivery time, getting rid of it, is slower than Mac's.
no question.
No question. I think Mac is a more precise passer, and I think I know he has a stronger arm. So I think those are the things he does better right now than Brock Purdy.
I think his arm is better than Purdy's in every way. Arm strength, release quickness, accuracy. He just throws a football better than Brock Purdy does. And Purdy throws a football well. Mac throws a football very well. And he sees the field better because he's taller than Brock. And I think this one might be the most important because it's essentially why he's playing right now. He protects himself better than Brock. And that's so huge for a starting quarterback in the NFL. Like, Brock does some really great things. And when he's healthy, he's a very good quarterback, but he's missed 7 in the last 14 games. And he's getting injured, scrambling around, not sliding, trying to get extra yards. He gets tackled and it looks like an innocuous hit in the NFL. And it's like, actually, I'm out for weeks. So Mac isn't quick or mobile, but he's still standing. And there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, and although he's not quick or mobile, he maneuvers pretty well in the pocket. And again, sometimes he doesn't have to because the ball's out already. And I want to say one other thing. As you know, there are two different kinds of quarterbacks. There are quarterbacks who throw with anticipation, i.e., where the receiver is supposed to be, and he'll throw the ball. He'll have faith, and he'll throw the ball to not where he is, but where he's supposed to be. There are other quarterbacks who need confirmation. They need to see him be there and then throw the ball. I think Mac is more of an anticipation guy. He'll throw it, and you're supposed to catch it 3 feet down or 3 yards down. Purdy is more needs confirmation. He's a little slower. He needs to see that Bourne is there. And I think that's one of the reasons he's slower and gets picked off more.
And maybe there's something to be said for the fact that Mac Jones played with Bourne for all those years and can anticipate where Bourne's going to be, whereas Brock Purdy maybe has better anticipation throwing to George Kittle.
Sure.
But yeah, I would have to say that Mac is better than Brock in those ways. And Brock is better than Mac in the sense that he's just so much more mobile than Mac and can make some really special plays happen. But that mobility has gotten him injured. And he needs to prove that he can, because if he's in and out, then he's no longer a starting quarterback in the NFL. I think that's baseline. You got to be out there. And you got to be the kind of guy who can win games when you're not 100% healthy. Mac is showing that he can do that kind of stuff. Brock has to show that he can do it too.
Yeah. Brock is very good throwing the ball over the middle.
Yep.
He is. It's what he does. But those are risky throws because you got to throw it sort of over the linebacker, but before the defensive backs.
Yeah.
And if you miss, you're intercepted.
Yes. And the interceptions are starting to increase with Mac. They were starting to increase with Brock. Maybe it's just a function of the system, what happens to these quarterbacks. But I do think it's interesting when projecting what was going to happen with these quarterbacks. Like, I think a lot of people said, Mac's really good, but on this team, behind this offensive line, he's going to get injured because he's not mobile enough. But the guy who's been getting injured is Brock, the mobile guy. And that's kind of interesting. Maybe there's something to learn from that if you need to protect yourself as a quarterback, maybe the best way to do that is to get rid of the ball.
That's right. That's what I was going to say, that Mac gets rid of it quicker, and it's the best protection. Also, I'd have to say, I think Purdy is a tough guy. I think Mac is a really tough guy.
Yeah.
Really tough guy.
And if Brock's strategy for protecting himself in his career is running away from pressure, he's not going to last.
Right, because there are people who are faster than him and hit harder. And
he's not that big.
Yeah. I would also say one thing, and I don't know if this is relevant. Um, Mac, he won a national championship in college, didn't he, Iggy?
He certainly did.
And he was a first round draft choice. What
Mhm.
number 7 was he?
Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code Cohn, COHN, and download the app now. 15.
15. Okay. And we know where the other kid was.
Mhm.
There may be something to that.
Mm-hmm.
There may be something to that. Maybe one is a Mercedes who had been underachieving, but he's a Mercedes, and the other is a VW Bug or a Prius. I have a Prius. I love my Prius, who was overachieving. I don't know, but it's something to think about.
You know that there's the famous story that Mac Jones was at Alabama along with Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. And at one point, Purdy was getting recruited by Alabama and Nick Saban. And when he was on his recruiting trip, he stayed with Mac Jones, and Mac Jones was the host, and they were playing video games together. And ultimately, Alabama decided not to give Brock Purdy an offer, a scholarship, because he just wasn't quite Alabama material.
Interesting. Interesting. And Iggy, they were playing video games? Is that what people do?
That's what I did in college.
You
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
You used to sit with friends and play video games?
Yeah, you do that.
And
Yeah.
I was paying for that?
You were paying for that. You really paid for a lot of good rounds of Halo 2.
I didn't do
But it
that.
works on your hand-eye coordination.
When I was at Lafayette
Problem solving.
College, and we're coming up to our 60th anniversary of our graduation, when I was at Lafayette College, we used to study a lot. I used to go to the library every night and study. We didn't
would
have
take
video.
turns. We would play Halo, and we would shoot each other in the face, and then we were out, we would read. We would do reading and shooting and reading and shooting, and that's how we would do. And that's how we all got through UCLA. Kept us agile.
Okay. I never heard of Halo, but I paid for that. Okay.
I had a good time. Thank you, Dad. Generic name says, is it possible the Niners are docked a draft pick for lying about Purdy's status prior to the Jaguars game, as he clearly wasn't healthy?
Doesn't it work the other way around? Doesn't it work the other way around?
What do
If
you
you
mean?
pretend the guy isn't healthy and all of a sudden you play him.
Yeah.
I think
That's true. That's bad.
I think that's how it is. Oh, he's terrible. We don't think he's going to play. And all of a sudden, he runs for 200 yards.
Yeah, maybe if Brock Purdy filed a grievance, but he won't. Catherine says, birthday shout out to my boyfriend Gabe, lifelong Niners fan who made me one too. Ronnie Lott was his guy, but he still thinks Lowell hits harder and Grant has better hair. Ooh.
Let's talk about Ronnie.
Mhm.
Ronnie is one of my favorite players I ever covered. I love Ronnie Lott. And as old men now, whenever we see each other, we give each other a hug because we lived through that together.
And one thing I would say, at games, they often have alumni just there as honorary former players. You never see Ronnie Lott, and I don't blame him. Jed, if you're watching, I think you could do an even better job of making the old Eddie DeBartolo players feel like they're part of the family. You do such a great job with Frank Gore and Patrick Willis and the players of the last 20 years, but you should probably make sure that Ronnie Lott's at some of these big games. I mean, Jerry's going to be there because Jerry wants people to say hello and to cheer for him, but Ronnie was just as important. Ronnie should be there. Just saying.
Oh, Ronnie was as important as Jerry. I think they should. I don't know if they have it, but they should have a Ronnie Lott Day.
That's a great idea. I love that.
They should have a Ronnie Lott Day.
They have a Dwight Clark Day. They should be a Ronnie Lott Day. I agree. Bill Kennedy says, Papa, do you remember Red Hickey and his 3-quarterback system?
You got to remember, I grew up in New York and I went to college in Pennsylvania. I didn't come out here till I was almost 21 years old. I was watching the New York Giants.
Fair enough. Boxing Fan Times 4 says, Brock is chinny. Mac has an iron chin.
I love the analogy to boxing, meaning who has a glass jaw. I would say Mac does have an iron chin, but I don't think that Brock has a glass jaw. He's not like that. He's a tough guy.
Yeah. I think what's the whole point of this injury is it's not about toughness. It's not about pain tolerance. It's about that it's debilitating until it's fully recovered. And
Right.
Maybe you have to sort of not be so tough and fight the urge to be tough to actually let this go away.
I love it. I love what you're saying.
G Code Travels Vlog POV says, we saw Tatum play. How will you grade Niners 2024 draft? It's looking excellent. Pearsall's had good moments. Green's had good moments. Garendo isn't doing anything right now, but Malik Mustafa is a very good starter, and now Tatum Bethune's a good starter. So it might be one of their best drafts of the Shanahan-Lynch era.
Iggy, hold on before we move on. Did you tell the story about Bethune when people were asking, how do you feel you could take over for Fred Warner, and how he responded and how impressed you were?
Yeah, he said it again after the game. Before the game and after that, same exact response. Before the game, it was like, big shoes to fill. Fred Warner, future Hall of Famer. I don't know if it was like, are you nervous or? And he was like, no. I mean, you understand, I've been playing football a long time and I've only had success. High school, college, like I've only had success. So I expect to do well. I'm not saying I expect to be Fred Warner, but I expect to have the same experience I've always had playing football. And then after the game, they asked him like, so were you surprised to have such a great game? And he's like, no, this is always what happens when I play football. So I thought that was a pretty cool answer.
You admired, what did you admire about it?
It's just such self-assuredness. I mean, he's a 7th round pick. So that's why the question is like, who are you? Where did this come from? And his perspective is, I don't know. I was great in college. I was great at Florida State. I was drafted in round 7 for some strange reason. They messed up, but I'm going to be great again. Watch. And he was.
Yeah. I admire how he answered. And he wasn't bragging. He was just stating a fact.
Yeah, for him to be like, oh, shucks, I'm surprised would have just been a lie. So he's like, honestly, no. Until proven otherwise, I'm going to assume that I'm going to keep having success playing football.
I love it. He was damn good.
He was damn good. And I think what's so cool about him as a middle linebacker, it's not enough to be good on your own. Like that's what the weak side linebacker has to do. It's your job to make sure everyone's on their assignment and no one messes up a coverage or is in the wrong gap. And it didn't seem like the Niners had any plays like that on defense. No 10 men on the field, nothing.
Does he strike you as intelligent?
Extremely. And that's why they put him at middle linebacker from the beginning. Like he could have been playing next to Fred Warner this whole time and probably should have been. No offense to D Winters, but this guy looks better. But they wanted him to be like the middle linebacker in training. And I saw like, what are the traits required for middle linebacker as opposed to the other ones? And he was like, we used to think there were different physical profiles, that the weak side guy be a little smaller and the strong side guy be a little bigger. But now we've realized they can all be exactly the same physical profiles. The middle linebacker is the best communicator, period. He's the best communicator.
I love it.
And it's probably more than just communication. It's the smartest, the most conceptual, the best at figuring out what the offense is doing before the snap, during the snap, that kind of stuff.
Quarterback.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's him. And he's really good at it. He's saving the season. The Niners have 2 new quarterbacks on their team, right? Mac Jones and Tatum Bethune.
I love it.
And they're doing well. What a season. Grant, let's play some Battlefield 6 nice shirts. I don't even know. I don't quite know what that is. I haven't played video games since I was about 22, but maybe it's time. Maybe I need to have that kind of midlife crisis. G Code Travels Vlog says, who are Niners young core next year, leader to A-list Cabo? Who's the Niners young core next year? The young core, Bethune, Michael Williams, Renardo Green, Diamondo Lenoir. Like the whole defense is pretty young. And Ricky, if he stays healthy.
I don't believe in cores.
I like that. That was the right answer.
It's a team.
Like that.